Pantera, a glam metal, heavy metal, thrash metal, and groove metal band, formed in Arlington, Texas in 1981, active until roughly the year 2000, but has recently reformed in 2022. They have 9 studio albums and 4 EPs. Now, their original lead singer was Terrence Glaze, and he was a lead singer for their first 3 albums, all glam metal albums. In their later period, they gained a lead singer, Phil Anselmo, for the remaining albums, including their 4th album, which itself is more or less a glam metal album as well. Now, their first album is called Metal Magic. It's glam metal. It's similar to Kiss or Van Halen, but it's not particularly very good unless you really like that kind of music. I feel like it's a bunch of B-sides and just not a very strong release. Their second album is in the same ballpark. It's called Projects in the Jungle. It's not great. It's like listening to B-sides of Kiss. They're just getting started really, and it wasn't great. Their third album, however, which is called I Am the Night, is quite honestly better. Now, it has a song called Come On Eyes. This is a 4 star. It has a good riff. Kiss likes, it's kind of a Kiss like song, and it's got some interesting breakdowns in the latter part of the song, but it's not fantastic. It's worth listening to, but not something I would recommend all the time. I would recommend their song Forever Tonight, which is a very good power ballad, very much a glam metal song, something similar to what the Scorpions would put out, and it has kind of some very interesting like 80s instrumentations to it. If you've heard a lot of songs from the 80s and you listen to this song, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just a very specific type of sound in the instrumentations of a lot of 80s songs that are kind of around that time period and written in that time. Some really interesting riffs. And I feel like Forever Tonight is a really a forgotten gem. I don't think that most people who like Pantera for their, thrash metal and groove metal material really like this song or have ever heard it, mostly because it's not groove metal at all. It's glam metal and it's very much a power ballad and it's much slower than and not hard at all compared to their later stuff. But if you want to hear a hidden gem of a fantastic song that doesn't sound like Pantera at all, at least their more well-known stuff, check out Forever Tonight. It is one of their best songs, despite what a lot of people will say about them, consider it's a glam metal song. Now, if you go to their 4th album, Power Metal, this is the first Phil Anselmo song or album. It's very much a glam metal album as well, but it moves towards speed metal. It's kind of a transitionary album overall, and it does have the lead and title song. Power Metal is a decent song. It's a 4 star. It's kind of like an Iron Maiden song, but not a great one. It's got very operatic vocals, which is what makes the song stand out, because I'll give credit to Phil Anselmo. I think he's a better lead singer than Terrence Glaze, and it really shows in this album. Now, and as well as that song. Now, in the second song on the album, I'd slightly recommend as a 4 star is Proud to Be Loud. Like power metal, has a decent chorus and very operatic vocals. If you like Iron Maiden the way Bruce Dickinson sings, I think you'd like these 2 songs a lot. Now, one of their most well-known albums is called Cowboys to Hell. This is their 5th album. This is a thrash metal and groove metal album in general. It has the title song, Cowboys From Hell. This song has some very, very distorted intro and repetitive riffs. It's good, but it's not great. Now, note this album has a couple of other songs that were singles that are often considered some of the best songs for Pantera, such as Domination, Shattered. There's a few others. Most of the songs on this album are really overrated, in my opinion. They're forgettable. They kind of blend in with a lot of the B-sides on this particular album, and they're not particularly good. They might have so-so riffs here and there, but they don't stand out. The one that does stand out, and is by far, in my opinion, their best song of their entire discography, is Cemetery Gates. Now, this is a very heavy song with great instrumentations, some very odd riffs, but overall fantastic. I would argue it's probably one of the best thrash metal and groove metal songs of all times. if not the one of the best metal songs of all time. It's fantastic. It really is. Now, when you go to their next album, their sixth album, Vulgar Displays of Power, this is probably their most well-known album. It is solid. It's a solid groove metal album, and it's most notable because of the song Walk, a very repetitive, super heavy song with some very quick riffs, and especially with its intro, a very simple chorus. It's just walk, or they repeat it over and over again in a very aggressive manner, and aggression is the theme in this song. This song is more well known than Cemetery Gates, but it's, in my opinion, slight. Cemetery Gates is a better song. Not that Walk is bad or anything. Walk is a great song, but it's just not quite as good, and but people just know it more. There's a song called This Love as well. This is kind of an odd slow song. It starts slow and then gets hard later in the song. I think it's one of those where it's a four-star because it kind of stands out, but it pales in comparison to Walk or Cemetery Gates or even Forever Tonight. It is definitely more of a groove metal song, though. Now, lastly on this album is the song Hallow. This is a song that starts very slow and steady with very good instrumentations, kind of like on par with a little bit of Cemetery Gates, but actually more similar to Forever Tonight as it's kind of a power ballad. It gets quite heavy in the middle, however, and then just kind of goes back and forth, and it's very interesting and honestly kind of underrated comparatively to Cemetery Gates or Walk, but it is one of their best songs, and it's totally worth listening to, especially if you like harder music, but you want to hear a good song that's a hard music song. Now, they have another album, the follow-up to Vulgar Displays, called Forever Driven. I feel that this album is kind of a letdown. They do have a Black Sabbath cover on it called Planet Caravan, and I find this to be a very good cover. I don't normally like this song that much as a Black Sabbath song, and I feel like Pantera actually made a better cover than the original song, just the way they played it. It's very moody, it's kind of soft, surprisingly, but overall extremely well done. And it may be that just that the song is growing on me over time, and that I just think that Pantera's cover was, I've heard so many songs and so many good covers, so many bad covers. I can tell that this is something they put a lot of effort into. So it is by far one of their best songs in their entire discography, especially considering I think it's better than the original. Their next album is called The Great Southern Treadmill and has two notable songs. One is Suicide Note Part 1. It begins in a very ethereal way, which makes it stand out as the ethereal intro. It's very, very sad themes to it, obviously, considering the title. It's kind of an alt metal, grungy song, and it's just very interesting, and it never gets super hard. However, there is a part two for this song, which is extremely heavy. It's more of a death metal esque song, or I don't want to say it's a death metal version, but it's the death metal part of this song, but it's part two. I wouldn't recommend part two unless you are someone who loves extreme music and wants to hear something extreme vocals from like groove metal or death metal. I mean, it's not terrible, but it doesn't compare to the uniqueness of the first part. The other song I'd recommend on this album is called Floods. It's a very moody song, very distorted, very grungy sounding, and with sort of a theme of destruction throughout the song. Some great instrumentations and a very interesting outro that's very memorable, uh, which is also very much an instrumentation outro. Now, their next album is called Reinventing the Steel. This isn't a particular good song or a good album, but I would recommend as a four-star the song Hole in the Sky. I'd say it's decent, but it's not fantastic. It's the only thing that really stands out on this album. Now, lastly, they have a number of EPs, four of them. None of them are going to stand out compared to their albums. In fact, everything on those EPs are stuff from their albums or it's a remix from one of their albums. There's nothing really original in any of them. They're not really worth listening to. I will say, however, they do have a cover of the song Cat Scratch Fever, which is again a very, very good cover and a sort of a thrash groove metal cover of that original song, which I actually really like this cover. It's one of those cases where they put a lot of effort into it, and it's great. It's way better than, I don't want to say it's better than the original, but if you really like heavy metal type stuff and thrash metal, you'll really like this cover of this classic song. Now, overall, listening to their entire discography, I would say that Pantera is a 3-star band. I say that because if you listen to everything they've ever done, considering they have 9 albums and they have a few EPs, you'll generally find one really great standout song on each album. That's usually what I rate as a 3-star, which, you're going to find something good in almost everything, or at least something decent with all their stuff. But that's kind of all they've really put out that's interesting. They did put out a song recently called Piss, which was released on a re release of one of their albums. It's not bad of a song. I think it might be an older song that never got released, and they released it recently. They haven't released any other new material as of late or as of this moment. Now, guys, if you like these reviews, please subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. And please like the video as well. Again, it very much helps. I'll be putting out some new discography reviews shortly, including heavy metal stuff, punk stuff, ska stuff, you name it. There's going to be quite a variety, but keep listening.